Hey guys, welcome back. Thanks for watching. Today we're going to talk about carpet pythons, a little bit about their behavior, and whether or not they're the mean, bitey monsters that everybody says they are online. Let's get into it. So I'm going to start off by showing you guys this guy. He's one of my more calm snakes. He's also in shed right now, which usually means they're a little more tempted to bite you. But these guys aren't mean like everybody says they are. Usually when they're babies, smaller, they're more apt to bite just because in the wild everything's trying to eat them, and they're tiny little snakes, so they make an easy snack for most things. But usually once you get them above a year or so, they calm down a lot. I've had this guy for over a year now. He's about a year and a half old, and he has never tried to bite me once. I do have some snakes that are a little more defensive, but this guy is one of my best snakes. He doesn't do anything. He usually just crawls around, even in shed like he is now. He's towards the end of shed, so he can actually see right now. His eyes aren't all cloudy like they normally would be when they're deep in shed. But this guy, he's really good. Never done anything bad. Doesn't try to bite. One of the main reasons I didn't want to get into carpet pythons to begin with, I always liked them, but everything I read and everything online always said that they were mean and bitey and they get really big. But about 2 years ago, Riley Jimison over at Rileys Reptiles released a video like this explaining that they aren't mean and brought out examples, and none of them were biting him, and that's when I decided that I wanted to actually take the leap and get some, and I have not been disappointed. But let's pull out a different snake. This girl is one of my more defensive snakes. I don't know if you guys could hear her hissing at me right now, but this is a Brisbane coastal carpet python. She's about a year and a half old as well, and she hates me. She does not like being around me. She doesn't like being held. I hope she calms down with some age, but I mean, I've had her for about almost a year now, and she doesn't seem to calm down at all. I mean, I guess she's calmed down a little bit. I used to get bit every time I touched her. Now I could at least pick her up and she just hisses and acts like she wants to bite me. I'm sure if I give her the chance, she'll definitely take a nip. But again, these things are small. Everything tries to eat them where they're from. So you gotta work with them. She used to be a lot more jumpy. When I touch her, she'd try to fly out of my hands and take off. But with handling and with a little bit of size and age, these guys are going to calm down. Just like any snake, when they're small and they think everything's going to try and eat them, they're going to try and bite. That's how it goes. If you're not willing to deal with that, then you probably shouldn't get snakes. But she's gorgeous. I love the silver eyes. If it'll focus right. There you go. Yeah, she's a very pretty snake. She's pretty small. She absolutely refused to eat any type of frozen thawed rodent until the last like 3 months. And now she eats them readily, not right now because I stopped feeding at the end of October to get into the cooling period. But this girl is one of my more defensive snakes. In a second here, I'll pull out my most defensive snake, and that girl, she musks and bites, and it sucks. But I'm trying to work with them, get them a little calm. I only have really 2 snakes that are defensive at all, and they're a pain to work with. This girl, she's a lot better, but this next one I'm going to take out, she hates my guts. So let me show you guys her. Now this is my most defensive snake. See, there you go. She hates being held. This is a 50% hypo Bredley python. She hates me. No matter what I do, no matter how much handling, she tries to get me. And I don't know why. Everything I read said that these were the ones that you get if you don't want to get bit, and this is the one that will bite me every single time. She hates me. I'm trying my best to work with her, but she just doesn't like to be touched. No matter what I do, no matter how calm I try to stay, no matter how much I handle her, she hates me. And it sucks because she's gorgeous. She's a very, very pretty snake. But I guess the pretty ones are always the crazy ones, right? It's usually how it goes with women. Yeah, she's wild. Hopefully as she gets older, she'll calm down. But you know, I'm not too mad at her. She's a small snake, and small snakes get eaten in the wild, so she has to be mean. She's a Rileys python. They're from one of the most harsh environments in Australia, so she has to adapt to live pretty rough. They get really hot and really cold where she's from, and she probably has a ton of things trying to eat her all the time in the wild. So as she gets older, hopefully she'll learn that I'm the one that brings the food. I don't try to hurt her. And maybe she'll calm down. Maybe she won't. Maybe she'll just be a crazy spaz for the rest of her life. I hope not, because once she's, 6-7 feet maybe, I don't want to get tagged by her. She can draw blood right now, just a little bit. It doesn't hurt, but it's more the shock of getting bit, and nobody likes to get bit. I will admit I am a baby when it comes to getting bit. I don't like it. I don't want to get bit, and I try to avoid it whenever I can. But let me pull out my biggest snake. All right, so this is my biggest snake. She's 5.5, maybe 6 feet. She does not like to stay still, but she is nice. She doesn't try to bite. When I first got her from Nick Mutton, she hated me as well. She tried to bite me every chance she got. She never let me touch her. But I just worked with her over the past 1.5 years, and she's calmed down very well. She doesn't really enjoy being handled, but I can take her out and she's not going to try and kill me every single time. I could hold her without being scared she's going to bite. I could let my kids mess with her and she's not going to bite. So this is just another example of if you handle them and take care of them, they should calm down usually. But when they're small and don't get handled, they don't want to be messed with. They don't want to feel like they're going to get eaten. When you take out your snakes, don't come over the top like a hawk or something would in the wild. Oh, she's hooking the tripod. But don't try to come from above and hook them like a hawk would in the wild. Try to come from underneath if you can. I know it's a little scary sometimes because you think they're going to try and bite you. So you just want to come over top and cover the head, which is what I would do. But I found they got more stressed that way. And once I got them out, they would usually freak out and try to bite. So I usually just try to come from underneath or even hook them. If you could hook them and get them out and then grab them, it usually works pretty well, especially for the bigger snakes. This girl's really pretty. She's one of my favorites. Hopefully I could have her up to breeding size the end of 2021 for the 2022 season. She might be able to breed now. She's 3.5 years old, but I don't have a male big enough for her, and I don't want to risk it, so I'll wait. But yeah, these guys have a bad rap for being mean and bitey and all this other stuff, but they're really nice snakes. They calm down really easily. They make good pets. If you just handle them, treat them right, they'll calm down, and even kids can handle them. I trust this one with my kids. I trust almost all my snakes except for the Brisbane and the Bredli. Those two my kids don't touch, just because if they bite my kids, I don't want it to ruin the experience for them. My daughter probably wouldn't mind getting bit, but my son, he would probably never touch a snake again. But they're just awesome snakes. I would recommend everybody get one of these. I think they make great first-time pets. They don't get too big. I think this is a pretty impressive size, honestly. Don't know if you can really tell how big she is. She probably seems a little smaller just because I'm a big guy, so I have her stretched out. But when I have her stretched out, she comes up to about my shoulder, and I'm a little over 6'4", so she's about 6 foot, almost 6 foot. But gorgeous snakes, highly underrated, get a bad rap for no reason just because people judge snakes based off of how they act as babies, which you shouldn't do, because they can completely change after they mature and get a little more confidence in themselves and a little more confidence in you to not eat them. But that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Like I said, I'm going to try and keep this more consistent now. My wife's on me. I have my own snake room now, so hopefully I can be consistent with it. Thank you guys.